from Zelensky's peace plan, and those three include nuclear security, release of prisoners, and food security. So it's really hard to get behind, not to get behind those issues, right? So, issues like food security or exporting grain out of Ukraine primarily affects the global south. Nuclear security is of concern to everybody, and then the release of prisoners of war and children is also an issue that is, should be outside politics. So Ukrainians strategically selected just those three issues to galvanize the world around, and that was, I think, a major breakthrough in their diplomatic effort in getting, some of the countries from Asia and the so-called global south to attend the conference in show of support. Now, not everybody signed the communique. We understand that 11 countries refused to sign the communique, mainly because they want to maintain a good relationship with Russia. But nonetheless, even the fact that so many countries attended the summit, and this also comes in the context of the G7 meeting that preceded it, that reimposed sanctions on Russia and then also committed more military aid to Ukraine. And the fact that Ukraine and the United States signed a new security agreement for 10 years. So all those developments combined show that Ukraine is playing the long game and that they understand that at the end of the day, this war is going to be decided by who endures longer, economically, militarily, and Ukraine is banking on banking on us to pay their ass. Western forces that support Ukraine and condemn the Russian aggression and call it aggression. And not all the people there. Why do you think the Ukrainian people there Ukraine is definitely winning are being harmed by the Russians?
I want to ask you, Dr.
It's because they want to be
Russian.
Russian.
We're wanting to know if this is a sign
that part of Ukraine
Russia wants
to be
no
under Russian control
of scaling back or ending anytime soon. We do know that the aid package was passed for Ukraine as the war does continue. But with this partnership deal, is it a sign that this war will be going on for several more months?
It sounds like years. Okay, so there's no sign at the moment that either Ukraine or Russia is willing to scale back, and Ukrainians have actually pushed the Russians back in the north with the help of Western aid and by reinforcing some of the reserve troops or deploying reserve troops. So at this time, a lot is still going to be decided on the battlefield. As the Russians are now trying to take advantage of this momentum while Ukraine is waiting for the new batches of equipment and air defense to be actually delivered to the front line. So it's one thing that military aid has been approved, but now delivery is also going to take some time. So the Russians are trying to take advantage of this momentum and inflict as much damage on Ukrainian infrastructure as possible. So things are very, very tense on the battlefield as the Russians have actually advanced in Donetsk region near Pokrovsk. But that said, the big offensive that came a month ago, where the Russians broke through Ukrainian defenses in Kharkiv area, Ukrainians have actually been able to push them back. And in large part, that is due to this new military aid that Western countries have recommitted to Ukraine. So things are, looking up for Ukraine, and I think that if they can maintain that unity and solidarity around the Ukrainian cause and defending against the Russian aggression as long as possible, then I think Ukraine once again shows that Russia is not unbeatable, but it takes unity and solidarity and commitment to helping Ukraine economically, militarily, diplomatically, because let's face it, the fact that Russia is now getting closer to North Korea, the trade-off in that relationship is that Russia is going to be helping North Korea's nuclear program. I think that's really concerning to all of us that Russia is facilitating North Korea's nuclear weapon development program. So if the West didn't have enough reasons to help Ukraine before, they definitely have enough reasons to slow down the. Look up how many acres that Russia wants.
and how much money's been dumped in there. How many dollars per acre do you think that is? Do you think it's worth it? Honestly, do you think that land's worth it? I don't. God.